You do, put the handbrake on. Don't take any pictures right now, that's not the position. I don't want to be on YouTube. Are you shearing that sheep? No, get your own. Alright. Now sheep do relax pretty quick once they give it a four-wheel drive. Here we go. It's pretty simple. Look, I get all sorts of comments doing this show with the live animals, public, blah, blah, blah. I had a guy come up to me the other day from the audience and said, "Hey mate, that sheep you were shearing wasn't wild like you said it was. It just sat there when you're shearing it. Didn't even try and run." I was thinking to myself at the time, well, how far can a sheep run if their feet aren't on the ground? So they don't. They wait for an opportunity. If I make a mistake and one of those little pinkies touch the ground, then you'll see the fastest tap dancing show you've ever seen. The art of sheep shearing is not just about whipping off wool. The real art of sheep shearing, I think, is knowing how to hold a sheep. Now I'm going to have a quick look at the bikini line, not a perv, just to make sure it's a female. Farmers make mistakes, shearing 300-400 little girls. A little boy sneaks in, you could be whipping things off which shouldn't come off. I don't want any Mr. Bobbits on my watch. It's a girl. Oh, look at these. You kids can't see. I'm just going to pinch one off. It's a Klingon. Oh, crikey. Oh, I'm not used to shearing lambs at the moment, so a little bit smaller. Come here, darling. Come here. Put your head between my legs. It's not that bad, honestly. Don't take a picture of that, do you? I just want to show the kids this. It's basically a Klingon. Here we go, my love. That's a bit sticky, this one. That's what happens, kids, if you don't use toilet paper. Mum and Dad will hear you coming. It rattles when you run. It's disgusting. I know it's gross. But I've got to whip off the bikini line first. That goes into felting. This is carpets, clothing, insulation, bikini line. Actually, I'll just check the audience so I don't upset anyone first. You know those little black bowler hats, felt bowler hats, you see the uppies? Oh, the rich people wearing. Hey, hello. What? Glass of port, anyone? You can think to yourself, oh, you make a sheep's bob on your head. But they wash it, so it's not a biggie. The other thing people get upset about is shaving nicks. You can't get them when you're shearing 300-400 sheep a day, little scratches or nicks. It's for the kids' sake, it's a bit, but just think of it like mum and dad daddy shaving. He pulls the skin tight, he gets rid of the wrinkles, so he doesn't cut himself. No wrinkles, no cuts. Same with mum with the legs. Keeps the skin nice and tight when you're shaving her legs. You don't do that, you get the nicks. Same for the sheep. This hand has only got the one job when you're shearing. Don't you let that sheep get cut. He's just got to get rid of the wrinkles. Now there are a couple buttons, because it's a young sheep, it's got to probably wriggle. A bit like you kids wriggled in your first haircut. Now there's a couple buttons on the sheep to stop them kicking. I call this first button the karate kick button. Whee! And it pops that leg out, like a karate kick. Whee! There's another little one on the front leg. Whoa, peanut butter sandwich. Whoa, Quasimodo. Even wave at your kids. Hi guys, how you doing? Lovely day. So these little buttons don't hurt the sheep, but they are pretty important to know, because if you don't do them and it kicks, she could hurt herself. If she wriggles, look, you're going to have to get over that yourselves. But my job is to keep her safe. Once she's wriggling and then I wait for her to stop, I carry on shearing. Alright, let's get on with it. Now I've got some bad news for her. Sorry, don't listen to this bit. I'm not a sheep shearer. I've never been a sheep shearer. I do know how to get the wool off the sheep without having a barbecue afterwards. I grew up as a shepherd. And being a shepherd, where I come from, in New Zealand, it's just part of shearing sheep is just part of the job. Now there's two teats at the bottom here. Try and leave them on. I'm afraid to say, with this machine and at this age, they are very easy to whip off. So probably the most dangerous part of shearing for the sheep is around the udder. I'm going to move it around so the ladies can see this. Make sure you smile for the camera. Good. All right, now, ladies, if there's any ladies watching me right now doing the bikini line, maybe you're thinking to yourself, hey up, he's not doing a bad job on that. Maybe you're going on holiday soon, or you think summer's coming back, you wouldn't mind to tidy up. It's only 50p today, ladies. Show special. Now, I know you've had a recession. I heard all about it over here. I honestly don't mind, ladies, if you want. I could even give you the 50p. Why do we shear sheep? Some people think it's mean. I think it's meaner to leave the wool on. Basically, I'm a dog trainer by trade, spent 30 years training dogs. Now I train people to understand dogs better. With animals, they are domestic animals, we've got to do a bit better with them, I think. With dogs, it's instincts, with sheep, it's history. Put that back, it's a bit shy. 10,000 years ago, sheep never grew wool like this. They actually looked more like a goat. They had a very small fleece. I know, you're doing really well. So basically, we realised, farming sheep for a long time, we could change the sheep more for human use. So we started a thing called selective breeding. We started growing their fleeces longer and longer on the back. The worst thing we did to this animal is we stopped it molting. I do take my time with the underarm, make sure you get it all, otherwise it looks a bit European. So we grew wool on the back of the sheep. We stopped at molting, and now wool is the second biggest killer of our sheep. Number 2. Number 1's the Barbie. How does wool kill a sheep? Well, 2 ways. They can get stuck on their own back. If a fox or a seagull or a crow finds a sheep upside down before the farmer does, it's all over Red Rover. But the biggest killer is a thing called fly strike. They love this unnatural fleece. They can hide their babies in it called maggots. And maggots will kill a sheep in just a matter of days. Not a good way to go, folks. I've seen far too much of it over here. We made this animal grow wool for us. You guys built an empire off it. Now we are responsible for looking after it. I know you, darling. It's your first time. Okay. If you're worried about her being cold or wet, listen up. Her skin will get a bit thicker after shearing. All that yellow cut. There's a lovely thing called lanolin in a sheep. Lanolin in a sheep is that grease we put on ourselves every day. Okay, basically it's in your lipstick, eyeshadow, sunblock, soap, shampoos. Really, really good for us. She has lanolin to keep herself protected from the wet weather. She's completely waterproof. Now, it also protects her from the sun. She only needs ½ an inch of wool to go for your winter. Anything longer than an inch of wool on a sheep is no benefit to the sheep at all, none. Now by shearing lambs at this time of year, they actually put more fat on and protect themselves a bit better in the winter as well. It's a really clever idea. No cuts, no scratching. She'll live for another 12 months because she won't get fly strike thanks to all that wool going off her. Who wants to see a naked sheep? Great, everybody else turn around. Okay, it's the first haircut she's ever had. Let's have a look at her. Give her a little, give her a little clap as well. Yeah, well done. We'll put her back in here. Don't panic, my love, it's not an oven. Sucker. Alright. Now, I'm not a sheep shearer, don't want to be a sheep shearer, never will be a sheep shearer. I was never going to be good enough. But I do admire them. It's the toughest job in the world, and I get my feathers ruffled when I'm over here in the UK and I see silly comments on cyberspace. And sheep shearing, it's mean. They even lost the golden shearing competition at Kent Counties because so many people in London demonstrated against sheep shearing. It's crazy. The worst thing you can ever do to this animal is leave wool on them. We put it on there for a selective breed. Look, let me show you the toughest job in the world. They're the angels. They grab a sheep, flip it, drag it to the machine, 30, 40 seconds down a porthole. They do this for 9 hours a day, 7 days a week. You got 2 months to get that off their body in each country before you get the maggots coming in. Real bad. The world record was just done in the Wales this year. After the Aurora Welsh show, he was a Kiwi came over and he's trying to get over the world record, which was 980 sheep in a day. He was trying to get to 1,000 sheep in one day. A Kiwi came over and did it after the Royal Welsh. So fantastic job. All right, let's quickly talk about some facts before we move on to the dance. This is a pile of wool, the best wool that sheep will ever grow. This is the baby wool. It won't get any better quality than this. This is really good stuff. How much the farmer would have paid between the shearer, shed hand, a bit of time, bit of grub, it's about £1.50 to £2 a sheep for a haircut over in the UK, roughly. How much do you think he makes for all that? So he instantly loses £1.50 for a haircut, let's say. How much? 50p. Anybody else? Kids, what do you reckon? Jump in here if you want to. 20p. How much? Oh, £50 going £50. I'll throw the sheep in as well. We got £50 bid, we got £50 bid, we got 55 bid, we got 55, we got £50 bid on the lamb. £50 bid, £50 bid, we're going to sell it, £50. Well done, that was a live auction. You well done, young man. Where's your mum and dad? Great mum's wallet, come on up. Okay, are we robbing you? I'm afraid to say you've had your day with wool. It is over. It might come back, who knows? But look, never forget the story. This is what paid for the empire. This is what made the UK one of the most powerful nations on the planet. It was wool, biggest income you've ever had. But I'm afraid it is a bit of a cost now. Let's talk about your number 1 breed over here. It's about 70p a kg. So you're looking at £1, maybe £1.20 for a big fleece. This here, be lucky to get £1, even though it's the best quality, but the weight is not there. All that lanolin goes into your cosmetics. Every day you're putting on sheep grease. It's in 90% of cosmetics are sheep grease. Really good for us. All right. But we have to shear the sheep, by the way. If you don't, you can get me done for cruelty to animals. We put it on. Lots of countries shear sheep twice a year. I think it's a bit kinder to them. All right, we're going to move on.